Hello guys, welcome to my channel again. Um, in this video we're going to learn how to solve inequalities, especially for those where the distribution property is needed. Let's fill out this key point first. It says to solve linear inequalities use inverse operations. Inverse operations to isolate the variable. Next, when multiplying or dividing by a negative number, change the direction of the sign. So if you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number, that's usually towards the last step in algebra 1. Make sure that you change the direction of the sign of the inequality. So I'm gonna do a few problems here, and then I'm gonna do the challenging problem at the end. So in this case, I have 6 times t minus 1 is less than or equal to 2 times 4t minus 5. Well, the first thing that I have to do in a problem like this, I can distribute. This is usually the easiest thing to do. Remember that when we distribute, we are multiplying. So it's 6 times t is 6t, 6 times negative 1. Let me write that t better. Okay. 6 times t is 6t, 6 times negative 1 is negative 6, and that is less than or equal to, I'm going to distribute that to 2 times 4t is 8t, 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Well, the next thing that I can do here is I can either add 10 to both sides, I can add 6 to both sides, I can subtract 8t or subtract 6t. I can choose any of these things as long as I'm doing the inverse operations correctly, and I am balancing the equation. Well, I'm sorry, the inequality. This is an inequality. As long as I am balancing the inequalities correctly, it doesn't matter which step I take first. Because I like to work with positive numbers, I'm going to try to make that negative 6 a positive, so I'm going to add 10 to both sides. Well, this negative 10 and that positive 10 cancel each other out, and that leaves me with 60, and then negative 6 plus 10, negative 6 plus 10 is a positive 4, and that is less than or equal to 8t. Now I'm going to get the t's to the same side, and I can do that by subtracting 8t from both, but if I do that, that's not really going to help a lot. So I'm going to move this 6t to the other side by subtracting 6t. And that leaves me with 4 is less than or equal to 2t. Lastly, I'm going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, which is less than or equal to t. What that means is that t can be any number that is greater than or equal to 2. For example, it can be 3, it can be 4, it can be 5, it can be 2.1, 2.5. As long as the number is greater than 2, and I plug in that number here, that number will make this inequality true. Let me do another one very quickly. I'm going to do the challenging problem. You guys can try the rest of them, and you can always check by plugging in the value back here. Let me do this one. So same thing, I need to start with distribution since I have a number outside those parentheses, so I'm going to distribute this. A lot of times people get scared when they see a fraction. You don't need to get scared. All you're doing is multiplying. 6 times 1 over 3. 6 times 1 over 3. Well, let me show you what's happening here. 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 6 times 1/3 is 2. 2d. And then 6 times 4 is 24. And that is greater than, I'm also going to distribute that 2. 2 times d is 2d. 2 times 12 is positive 24. Now, notice that I have the exact same thing on both sides. The exact same thing on both sides. What this means is, if I have one thing, say that D is 1. If D is 1 on both sides, then I have 2 times 1 is 2 plus 24 is 26. And I will have 26 on this side too. Well, is 26 greater than 26? That's not true. That's not true. So because I have the same thing on both sides and it says greater than, I'm going to draw a fruit here. Say that this is 2D plus 24 is equal to an orange. Okay? Well, if I have another orange here, does that mean that an orange is, one orange is greater than another orange? Well, that's not really true. So because this is false, that means that I have no solution. I have no solution. That's it for this video. Please, if you have any questions, make sure that you write your comments there. And if there is a special topic that you would like me to cover, let me know in the comments below.